everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here to do a process video with this layout. I was originally working on a Get Sketchy with Christy and Rachel episode for the month of June, and I was working with it. It had a bunch of really cool squares to it and everything, but it wasn't really working, so I kind of scrapped using it for that and made my own thing. But I just wanted to show you because my intro obviously is different, because when I originally filmed an intro it was for that episode. I also want to let you know that something happened to my camera when recording this. So the camera itself is fine and it recorded, but everything is condensed. So if you are watching this on a phone, it's going to look really small. I apologize about that. I think I have the issue fixed. So if you need to skip this episode because it's just too hard to see, I understand. No worries there. But yeah, it is also a little bit different because of course I go into making this and then I make a little mistake, and I will show you how that gets fixed. And I used a bunch of little really neat pieces, so I hope you enjoy the episode, but I did wanted to let you know that it's a little bit different because of what happened with my filming and then it not turning into what I originally thought it would. But I hope you enjoy it either way.
Alrighty, so you're going to see me go through and pick out my pattern papers for this layout, still thinking that I'm going to be doing this for following the lift and being inspired by that awesome layout by this Studio Calico member. But what ends up happening is, as I'm kind of layering these papers and just trying to pick out what I want, I'm liking them, but individually. So stacked together or thinking like in a bunch of different squares, I didn't think it would be very pleasant to the eye. Like the pieces I had happened to pick out just weren't really working. And I was loving the fact that when I layered that photo on the piece of black and white text, it just looks really neat that way. And to do squares, you wouldn't be able to get that same effect. So I'm kind of playing here, deciding, I'm counting how many pieces I have, looking at that, and that's when I'm like, you know what, okay, I'm scrapping this, and I'm just going to do a fresh layout just kind of on how I want to do it, and who knows what's going to happen. So I have no idea how this layout's going to turn out at the moment. I just know that I love the look of the black and white text on the piece of really light blue, and then just a little sliver of that lime green. Now, when it comes to green, I have a really hard time scrapping with it. There's just something about it, and especially that really bright, like lime green. I am just the worst at scrapping that color. But because in the photo, Jackson's towel is the same color. It's a frog towel, so it's that really bright green. I found that I was drawn to the colors because it helped to bring out the photo, and if it's going to help bring out my photo, then I'm all for it. I also was very determined to use a little bit of this circle paper. I remember, I believe this was a collection from last summer, if I'm not mistaken, and I remember everyone using that piece of circular, like it's just a bunch of circles, and everyone used it in such really unique ways, and I have kind of been hoarding it. I only got the 6x6 pad. I never did get a 12x12 sheet of it, and I've just kind of been hoarding it because I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to use it. And so the fact that I happened to get even just a little bit on this layout makes me so happy. And what I decided to do was, I like that there was a sliver of green on the one side, and I was thinking it might look neat to have a sliver of green on the other side as well. So I'm going to play around trying to figure out doing that. Doing the tearing technique, I like kind of the rough edge look, as that was how it looked on the first side. I'm going to place it like that, put my photo back on, see what it looks like, and though I like it, I'm not loving it. It's becoming a little too square, and it's just not really doing what I'm wanting it to do. So instead what's going to happen is I'm just going to rip that little piece up into two, and that top piece of that green triangle paper that's up at the top right now, I'm going to think about using that as a border instead of using it as a top piece up there. So I'm going to tear it, rotate it, let's see, there I go, I'm going to rotate it down there. And then I'm like, okay, I'm liking this, but the green and the green is too close. So I'm going to swap it a little bit more. That way I have that the green floral both on the left hand and the right hand side, and I really like the way that looks. I was really excited when I saw that, and I'm like, this is perfect. I decided to do some stitching to get it on there because I did do stitching on the original cluster. I'm going to use a little bit of tissue paper as it's just kind of my thing now. I just tend to always reach for it. And I'm going to look through some of my overlays. I was thinking that I had this overlay of a cloud, and I knew there was some white space up in the corner of my photo, so I thought it would probably work, and I was really excited when I laid it on there, and it was perfect. It wasn't covering up too much of Jackson with the raindrops, the cloud wasn't covering up anything important, and it just worked really well. I was super excited that that fit. I'm always happy when I can get an overlay placed on my photos. I'm then going to go through some of my washi tape. I'm still kind of trying to challenge myself to use my washi more. I'm having a hard time using it. It's so beautiful, but when I actually go to use it, I never tend to like it. However, this time I did find some of arrows, and they're just black arrows on a piece of clear washi, and I did one going upwards, and then the top arrows I did facing downwards, so like into the layout, and I really like the way that that looks. I thought it was really neat, and it was just a little added interest to that side of the paper, which I liked as well. And then thought, well, I have some ugly green frames I could try to use up. I knew I had this old one that you're seeing me cut right now, and that was probably one of the very first frames I've ever bought. So I was kind of determined to make it work. So I cut it in half and was just trying to see if I was going to use both of them or one of them, and then I just happened to slide them together like equal parts apart on opposite sides of the page. And I really liked that. I was like, this is neat. I'm liking the kind of the design element to that. So that right there is the basic design of my layout. And it just happened, it was a fluke. I just happened to put them side by side and really like the way that it had turned out. So I don't know, I'm happy with the way that it looks. I am then going to add one of my Dear Lizzie. It was from the documentary collection, and it is a rub-on, so I'm getting a rub-on used up, which is really exciting. I also went into my stash of tags and picked out this chipboard one, and it is from the Kiss Kiss collection. I grabbed a few little leaves that are again the same green and a little bit of blue because I'm going to use my title in blue, which you'll see in a moment. And then I'm also going to go ahead and add a few more hearts, and I'm going to come back live. You'll see it in a minute, but I'll come back live and show you the finished product, because when I went to do my title, I did it in the wrong spot and I kind of had to redo it. But in the end, I love the finished layout. It turned out exactly like I wanted to. So, and I had only 2Ds, so I had to work with my title. I was going to call it my little Froggy, but I just called it my Froggy, and those G's are actually D's. And while I'm playing around, I was thinking about using the visual triangle, so you'll see that as well. And with that, it's going to wrap up my layout. So thanks everyone so much.
So first of all, my camera cut out, which I didn't realize, so sorry about that. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm going to put my journaling here. I did that, did a little bit of stamping. I'm looking at it, and I absolutely hate it. So I'm loving this. I hate this. I think this journaling should be here. And of course, because it's on white and I've done stitching and everything's glued down, I don't want to have to fix that. So I'm just simply going to find like this piece right here. I'm never going to use this. It's okay. It's not going to bother me. And I'm simply going to just do a little bit of math here. It looks like I need to cut that much. So looks like 3 inches will be good. And I'm just going to cover it up. It's going to look a little tiny bit funny, but you know what? I just don't want to, have to redo my whole layout, and then I'm going to put my journaling here because I think it will look better there. And then I'll show you my close-ups, and that will be the end of my layout. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back soon. Bye everybody. Okay. retake again. So I actually came up with a better idea other than using that little strip in the corner. I simply cut the piece of pattern paper out. So this is where I messed up. The letter stickers did come off. I had to re-glue them, but that was fine. I just simply put it back on another piece of white. This little bit right here is the only part that when I really look at it, I can see it, and I don't even know if you can notice it unless I bring it way up close. That's when you can see the mistake. But I think if you're just flipping through, you're not really going to notice that. So I'm going to let it be. And I love it. And I was able to put the journaling on this side, which I'm much happier with because now I have that triangle. And I was watching one of the Crafty Maven Getaway episodes, and there was just a reminder of visual triangles, which I do a lot anyways, but they said if you use visual triangles of the same thing. So I had these thickers and I had the brackets from the thickers, and I did that to frame my photo, and then there's the triangle within the whole layout. So I really love it. There's little sparkles bits here and there. I added a little heart here for some gold added there. I feel like maybe I need to find a few word stickers to place on here, maybe one on there. But other than that, I'm so happy with the way it turned out. Definitely got my story documented, which makes me really happy. And I'm just really pleased with it. So again, thank you for watching. This time I am actually done. I'll put on some close-ups and I'll be back soon.